Good morning and welcome to my channel, The Fruitcake Astrologer, where I will give you an astrologer's take on current events and people in the news. So we are in the middle of a contested election. The mainstream media has already called it for Biden, but is that reality? So I want to take a look at Biden and Trump's transits between now and inauguration. So for those of you who have given up hope, I wouldn't give up hope just yet. Now, we know Trump has the most powerful natal chart I've ever seen, an unexpected Pluto that's out of bounds. He was born within a few minutes of a total lunar eclipse. This man has a very powerful chart, and I don't think quit is in his vocabulary. So I don't think he's going away. Now, I believe there will be a swing in Trump's favor beginning about the 21st. Now, why do I say that? Well, let's go take a look at Trump's transits between now and inauguration. Okay, so before we do this, let's just focus, right, guys? We have a 10th house question. Nobody lives a one-note life, right? What we want to know about Trump and Biden is whether they're going to win the presidency. And for that, I would look at their 10th house. The 10th house is, of course, career and status. And if you win the presidency, it's a big career and status move, right? So we're going to focus on the 10th house. Now, here are Trump's transits between now and inauguration. And wow, they're pretty much all favorable. Now, you see the sesquiquadrate. I use those for outer planet transits and progressions and solar arcs and stuff. Now, for you numerology buffs, the sesquiquadrate is 135 degrees, and you'll notice each one of those numbers is favorable, and I have found it to be mildly beneficial. So Trump is basically without hard aspect between now and inauguration day. Okay, now look at that Pluto trining the midheaven. I believe that Trump is going to win. Assuming we have a good time of birth on this guy, I would expect him to be cinching it up around January 4th. Okay, now let's move on and take a look at Joe Biden's transits between now and inauguration day. Yikes, not nearly as good. Look at this. I have put a red bracket around 10th house aspects between now and inauguration, and we see the north node swinging to square his midheaven, January 29th, the 3rd, the 18th of December, coming back for another one right before Christmas. And look at December 26th, he's got Saturn squaring the moon. That's depression, okay? And that's a very powerful aspect. Of course, Saturn takes about 28, 29 years to go around the zodiac, unlike Jupiter, which takes 12, but ish, Now we see a couple favorable ones, Jupiter and Saturn at the end of December for Biden, but it's to Neptune in his 10th house. And all you astrologers know Neptune means things that cannot take shape or form, the foe, the illusion. So I think maybe there's a little spark of hope at the end of December, but bam, December 31st, back to that north node swinging back to square his midheaven. Okay, let's go on to January for Joe. I see one mildly beneficial transit for Joe on the 10th. Now look at Saturn's going into his 3rd house. That's depression. Okay, that's anyway, so we don't want to go too far afield, but I'm not seeing anything. I think he looks angry, Pluto and Mars, so I ain't seeing it, guys. All right, as an astrologer, I ain't seeing it. I think Trump has far superior aspects between now and inauguration day. Okay, so let's just take a look at Joe Biden's transits, and the reason I want to show you this is how prevalent Neptune is in the charts of Kamala and Biden. Okay, let's start with Biden. He was born with Neptune in his 10th. It's now if he were an actor or an actress, I would say that would be a wonderful placement, but not for a politician. And look at the north node in the 7th house of legal challenges. is squaring his midheaven. That would tend to indicate that he's going to have problems, legal issues. Okay, now let's move on and let's take a look at Kamala's chart. Neptune is transiting her 10th house retrograde. You know, this tells me this is like a faux election, deceit, deception, illusion, right? That's what Neptune rules. Now, one thing I want to also point out is that Kamala's Jupiter is conjunct Algol, which is one of the most malefic stars in the sky and rules her 7th house of legal. So we're also seeing a lot of stress for Kamala, right? That is this going literally mean she loses her head, she loses a vice presidency? Of course, we don't want to be literal, right? So I'm not seeing it, guys. Batten down the hatches. I think we're in for a swing in Trump's direction. So that's my take. I know you listen to the mainstream. I don't know who to trust either. I mean, I listen to the mainstream media and it's yes and it's no. And it's, I trust astrology. So that's what I see coming between now and inauguration. So if you are a Trump supporter, it ain't over yet. I have to add the comment that I'm in my 60s. I've watched I don't know how many presidential elections, and I've never seen a president stay in his basement and not campaign like Biden did. And I found that so interesting, I guess, or kind of crazy. I've never seen that. Of course, we had the COVID and everything, but there's no reason he couldn't have gone out and campaigned and kept his distance and stuff. So it makes me wonder if he knew it wasn't going to matter, that he didn't need to go out. Wow. I wonder that. And with that Neptune in his 10th. Anyway, who knows? So, we'll see what unfolds between now and inauguration. I'm, not counting Trump out. All right. If you enjoy these readings, I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for listening.